blame game for your anger and angst. Global warming is the primary driver of the existential meltdown of our problem-solving systems. Global dying is the elephant in the room that is killing life on Earth. Blame. Who is to blame? We are to blame. We are too many people. All the non-natural problems and disasters have a common denominator: too many people. Over 1/3 of the people who have ever lived in recorded history, the last 10,000 years, are still alive. The number one weapon of mass destruction is the human genitalia. Where have civil, social, and political strife exploded? In countries where most of the population is under 15, 20, or 25. In countries where education is encouraged without an economy to provide jobs for the educated. Mother Nature is angry. She cannot afford us. It's not a matter of funny numbers on funny paper, as the economists would have you believe. As the elephant in the room moves more and more, the economic damage will worsen, which will worsen the job picture. We are in an existential meltdown of economic, political, and educational institutions which rest on disappearing environmental resources. Mother Nature cannot afford us. She is aborting us. What needs to be done will not be done if too many people blame the wrong reasons for global dying. The doo-doo digesters, who have evolved their views and values from the gut reactions and emotional bowel movements, will preach ignorance based on self-delusional lies. Believing is self-deceiving. Blame your religious pulpit Pied Pipers. As a child, your parents first used boogeymen to control your behavior. As your sense of time and tomorrow developed, they substituted Santa Claus. When this no longer worked, they introduced another set of falsehoods, the Santa Clauses of organized religion. The more lies one lives, the more one suffers from failing to prevent or solve problems. Global dying is a problem aided and abetted by the lies of the three major Western religions. Blame the anti-abortionists who are anti-life liars on Earth. Like many conservative lies, pro-life is the opposite of what it means and does. Pro-life is pro-litter. Pro-litter is overpopulation. Pro-life is killing all life on Earth. The pain of a stopped heart as a fetus is less than the pain over days, weeks, and months as a child suffering in a dying world. In a world where children become more and more the main entree for dinner. As has happened throughout history and is happening more and more today, baby back ribs will not come from a farm, but from a family member. Starvation dementia occurs when the starving bodies start consuming muscle and other tissue. The resulting toxic, mind-changing metabolites lowers one's IQs. Family values mean less than the values of proteins in another human being. In the 1980s, this writer wrote that if we want to stop seeing pictures of starving kids, then we must stop feeding them. Otherwise, they spread their legs to continue the pro-litter cycle of religious liars. Feed the starving kids to foster crime, terrorism, and global dying. Face it. Face the facts. Abortion reduces suffering for the born and unborn. With global dying accelerating towards a 90% human die-off by 2015, keeping a fetus to term is like giving a heart transplant to a murderer on death row with an execution date. Does an obese person waste food more when he eats, digests, and flushes it, or when he simply aborts the waste by trashing it without eating it? What do you think Mother Nature answers? Pro-choice is Mother Nature's preferred anti-abortion policy, so she does not have to abort humanity in increasing numbers. Mother Nature is showing what is worse than revenge is best when served cold. Revenge is best when it is served hotter and hotter, also known as global dying, the elephant in the room. Blame your priest. Worse than the pedophile priest who molests children is the fact that the priest preached for more leg spreading and more kids. Now we know the real reason for why contraception is a no-no in the Catholic Church. Blame all pulpit Pied Pipers preaching population explosions that is blowing up our world. Blame your parents for believing the religious liars and for conceiving you. Worse than believing is self-deceiving is believing and conceiving. Believing and conceiving is super self-deceiving. Blame yourself for repeating and living religious lies. Ugly truth destroy beautiful lies. Hey, pro-letter folk, don't you know you are lessening your loved one's freedom and happiness each time you stop the abortion of an unwanted, unfunded fetus? You and your loved ones pay the higher inflated rates of taxes, insurance, crime, and terrorism that comes from an inflated overpopulation. As the existential meltdown accelerates, the younger generation will initiate generational warfare, fueled by a resentment towards parents and grandparents who selfishly and ignorantly fueled global dying. Only by honestly blaming yourself will you possibly find salvation from the accelerating hell on earth that is global dying. We cannot get off death row if we keep sinning against Mother Nature. Only by publicly objecting to the prattle and promises of prayer will people start to focus their energy and hopes on reality. Only by stopping the religious liars' promises of something for nothing will we start doing something to avoid an earthly nothingness. Pandering to the pro-letter fundamentalists, the res puber habitual politicians want to ban public funding of abortion. Do the math. Which costs taxpayers more, abortions or unwanted pregnancies? Me doth think they protest too much, like their hypocrisy on pedophilia, racism, homosexuality, communism, balanced budgets. One can bet these old boys will personally fund abortions when their wives, daughters, or mistresses need a safe, clean abortion. Driven by greed and with cheap sound bites, Republicans seek to exploit the ignorance, squeezing and scaring the hearts of the silent majority. Blame? Who is to blame for liar, liar, earth on fire? Look in a mirror.